I've been teaching you all kinds of science about the advanced metabolism and how it relates to your health. Today, I am excited to show you the simple steps to measuring your blood glucose and ketones and why it matters. For today's demonstration, we're going to use the Ketomojo meter. When you drop those carbohydrates to 20 total or less, those urine ketone strips are going to do you solid. But as soon as you become keto adapted, the range of what ketones and blood glucose are doing are much less volatile. And it's that time when you want to use a blood metric to check your own metabolism. This biohacking might be the most important thing that you ever do to understand why those chronic diseases came about in the first place and how to make them go away. So first of all, let me say that many people balk the first time I tell them we are going to prick your finger, blood is going to come out of your fingertip, and you're going to live. It's like the boogeyman that used to live under your bed. It really isn't that scary once you get your head around it. And we have a simple method that shows you the ability to check both that blood glucose and blood ketones with one prick. You'll be okay. We'll get there. So let's begin the demonstration by making sure I show you exactly the proper way that I would teach a newly diagnosed diabetic how to check their blood sugar. And let's hope you never end up with that diagnosis, that this is a prevention method. So we do start by saying, yes, your hands should be warm. That helps that blood supply at the tip of your fingers to be the most profuse. You'll have the best response of getting that prick of blood. I did use an alcohol swab on the tips of the fingers, and it should dry before you use that. I'll be honest, I often don't use an alcohol swab. It turns out just fine. Once you got fingers clean, we're going to use this spring-loaded lancet. And I'll show you how this works. You're going to see inside the lancet, this is the needle, is the prick that's used to cause the damage. It's going to cause the drip of blood. Now, I'll be honest, I use my lancet over and over and over again. It is not a hollow bore needle. It is really just a prick of the skin. And I use it until it gets dull. But I have a great immune system and I'm not afraid of that little needle. So we put a fresh one on, and now we are going to put this lancet back together. We are going to spring load it. And the place that we want you to use this lancet is not right on your fingertip. That is the most sensitive part of your finger. And although it does give you a good blood response, a much better approach is to go on the side of your finger. So that side of your finger, I set it to the deepest prick of the finger. I just don't like to have to do it twice, and that is how I protect from that. So before we prick your finger, before we use that, I'm going to open up these two test strips. The light blue one here are the ketones, and you'll see that the color of the strip matches the outside of that package. And the brown one is the blood glucose, and we're going to open that one up and get that ready for our testing. We're going to insert this glucose strip into the meter, and you'll wait just a minute for it to blink with that blood drip right there on the edge. That is what you need to have blinking before you prick this finger. So we're now going to use the side of your finger. We're going to make sure it's dialed up as deep as the lancet can go. Spring load it, press it to the edge of my finger, and there is the response. In the perfect world, they say, oh my gosh, you're not supposed to squeeze the tip of the finger. I squeeze the tip of the finger every time. So the next step of getting this set up is to put that tip of the test strip right to the bubble of that blood. You want to see that blood pipette into the tip of that test strip. And you'll notice that the blood glucose takes 5 seconds to count down. Once that's there, quickly take that strip out, put the ketone strip in, and you're going to wait for that blood drip to be there, and I'm going to use that same blood prick to pipette up enough blood, there you go, to turn and hear that beep. Now you'll notice the ketone counts down for 10 seconds, whereas the blood glucose counted down for 5. And now I have the metric to measure the Dr. Boz ratio, your blood glucose and your ketones. You'll notice that when I got done, I just licked my finger. People find that gross, but it cleans up really easily. Obviously, I don't do that in clinic, and I don't do that with patients. But when I test my metrics, what I want to show you is it is very simple. These metrics will change your life. Please don't be afraid. Step over the threshold. Test your own. blood sugar, blood ketones. I've got a blood glucose of 74 and a ketone of 4.0. That's a Dr. Boz ratio of 18.5. What does that mean? Check out the next video. I'll teach you about it there.